3 cakes that you can make in less than an hour. Raffaello Bayadera that adults really like, banana candies and wafer rolls that children adore, and a walnut and biscuit roll for both the young and the old. With small cakes, the most important thing is organization. Measure out everything you can. Place them within your reach. And then make a plan to follow. First you bake what needs to be baked. Oh my dear God. Bake everything you have to bake, then you cook everything that needs to cool down. And later everything is assembled and spread. I will do the same now. I have 1 liter of milk and I poured 900 milliliters into a pot. And I'm taking it to the heat to boil. In the meantime, into another bowl I put 300 grams of sugar, 120 grams of vanilla pudding powder. That's 3 packets for you. And I pour the remaining milk over everything. I mix all of that so there are no lumps. And by the time I do this, the milk is almost boiling. Just before the milk boils, we start cooking the pudding and stir. We cook the pudding over medium heat. The process might be a bit longer, a few minutes. But it's safer so our pudding doesn't burn. As soon as it starts to thicken, stir quickly and don't leave it sigh. When the pudding reaches this thickness, we remove it from the heat. As soon as we remove it from the heat, we add 250 grams of margarine or butter. We submerge it a little like this so it starts to melt. And then we will mix everything together. We mix now, so the pudding combines with the fat. It's almost combined. This process takes a little while. And now I will add, like this, into one bowl. 100 grams of white cooking chocolate. Into another 100 grams of dark chocolate. Here, 200 grams of ground walnuts, almonds or hazelnuts. And 100 grams of ground biscuits. And with the white chocolate, 300 grams of ground biscuits. And now I divide this entire mixture into 2 parts. Now I will pour half here. And half here. You pour all of this approximately, so if you make a small mistake, nothing terrible. I think I have a bit more here. I'll transfer some here. I mix everything together. It is very important that you do this while everything is hot so that our chocolate melts. Approximately like that. The dark chocolate is easier to see, so it's easier to incorporate. Now we mix a little again. Then we leave it again. Now I will do the same with this part. When everything melts and combines, the whole mixture looks like this. We leave them now to cool down. And we move on. Immediately after, we prepare the filling for the next cake. 300 milliliters of water, you can also use milk. 300 grams of sugar. 250 grams of margarine or butter. 100 grams of dark chocolate. We break it up, add it, and take everything to the heat. We stir gently to help the melting, and when it boils, we remove it from the heat. Remove from heat. This is how it should look for you. You cook it for only 30 seconds. You stir non-stop over high heat, helping the margarine and chocolate to melt. When everything boils, you stir for about 30 seconds. Remove from heat, then add 500 grams of ground biscuits. This is the density you should get. And now I leave this to cool as well. The next thing I will do is prepare the pan for the white bayadera. This one is 28 by 18 centimeters and I put in parchment paper. We start preparing the bottom layer. 125 grams of butter, 125 grams of sugar, 50 milliliters or 1 shot glass of water. We take it to the heat to melt and boil, nothing more. While melting, you stir non-stop like this, and when everything is melted and boiling, you remove it from the heat. When you remove it from the heat, add 300 grams of ground biscuits. And now you mix all of that. The entire mixture should look like this for you. So you can press it nicely into the mold. If you cook it longer, the entire mixture will be somewhat drier, and then it will crumble when you cut it. And if it's thinner, then it will spread out a bit on you. So now I put this away, take the mold, and I will put this entire mixture into the mold. You will do this very easily. And that would be about it. For the next part, prepare the mixer immediately. Into a pot, put 125 grams of butter, 100 milliliters of water, 200 grams of sugar, and 100 grams of white cooking chocolate. Now I will take all of that to the heat and stir the whole time until it melts. This entire mixture must not boil for you, just stir. I am doing this on the highest heat. And now it will all melt together a bit more. As soon as it melts, I will stop stirring. I will let it just lightly boil and then remove it from the heat. It's already starting to boil slowly. Now I will stay like this for about 10 to 20 seconds. I'll stir a little more. And that would be it. I remove it from the heat. As soon as I remove it from the heat, I add 200 grams of powdered milk and mix everything together. I will immediately add 100 grams of coconut. And the white part is done. Now we will spread it on that biscuit part. I'll just shake it a little. And that would be it. This can go to cool. We need 1 package of wafer rolls. We have 8 wafer rolls. So we will spread one filling on 4 wafers and the other filling on 3 wafers. Just as we made the filling for the wafer roll and made this white bayadera of ours, this has also cooled down so we can spread with that. Now comes the part where we are quiet and spreading. This light filling tightened up quite a bit on me since it was cooling. And this biscuit was also somewhat drier, so I added just a bit of milk so I could spread it more easily. You can do the same. It's much easier if you get a thick filling to thin it out than to fix a thin one. I deliberately did not spread with warm filling because these wafer rolls, in combination with the pudding and hot filling, become soggy and rubbery. No good. And they should remain not as crispy as when we spread them, but just to soften a little. Now we cover everything with the 8th wafer, and now we place parchment paper on top. A plate will do. Add weight and put it to cool. The next thing we do is spread the wafer roll. The one we will make with banana candies. We put half of this mixture on 1 wafer sheet. On this rough side. If it happens that it tightens up, feel free to pour in a splash of water or milk and mix. For this wafer roll, you don't spread the filling to the edge. Approximately like this. And now we will take the banana candies. You can take the amount you want, but approximately about 10 pieces, which you will chop and place on top. Press them down a little, so they sink into the filling a bit. It will be easier then to spread the rest. A nice wafer on top to press everything down. Paper on top like this. Then I place this on top like this. And I take everything together to cool. As soon as the cakes rest for 2 to 3 hours, you can cut them and serve. On some, you can put glaze. And you don't have to. I deliberately cut one piece here before I cut them all to show you how they look. This is the bayadera. Look, perfect. The banana candies. Now, I don't know if I can break it. I can. Excellent. And this is the wafer roll. Here's how it looks. Fine, soft, a real delight. Enjoy.